would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shemiyah Washai, by Shema Kakadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. And shalom, salutations to the ones out there with the sincere faith of Yahweh by Shemiyah Washai. Shalom. And this video is going to be entitled to somewhat of effect of you need a certain mental toughness to reach a certain spirituality. There's levels to spirituality. And, and when you use that word spirituality, it encompasses a whole lot of things, because that term or that word is used very loosely, so we're going to get ahead and get into spirituality, toughness, and things of that nature, right? And I wanted to start it off with this because this is something that comes out a lot, but the things that do come out a lot, you see that you can apply to many things. That's why, and this is 2 Timothy's 2, verse 1. Thou, therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and that the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others. And that's the thing. One of the priests, the brother Kasap, one of his favorite scriptures is Ephesians, the second chapter of the love of Yahweh is passes knowledge, and you see that, and you see how it says he was an example to telling the people to be like that. He said, do that to it says, who shall be able to teach others. Yeah, so this thing is about passing this knowledge. That's why we say this is a living thing. This thing is alive, so we constantly are moving and putting the spirit out there of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai to bring life, so and then bring life to others. But you see, this world is totally against that. Continuing on, it says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, right? Because it's hard to deal with different personalities. It's going to be hard to, you gotta. This walk of life of ours, it stretches. It makes you grow, and when you grow, you develop certain strategies, if you want to call it that, or things to where you're able to adjust. The scriptures talk about how the spirit is like a wind. So basically, this truth builds skills or toughens your mental to where you're able to adapt to damn near anything, So the word mental toughness, I looked it up on Google, and it said it is a personality trait that determines your ability to perform continually under stress and pressure, and is closely related to qualities such as character, resilience, grit, and perseverance. And perseverance has even though you're going through pain or suffering, you continue on, enduring in it, enduring in this thing, no matter what. A lot of bad things happen to brothers. Brothers may lose homes or women, children, even things of that nature, like miscarriages or whatnot. It's even though we live in hell, and the scriptures say not to have children, but it's still a natural thing to want to have kids, but it's just not out here trying to have a football team or have, not out here actually trying to make them. But if it happens, it happens. It's all through the spirit, right? So I had this. Unfortunately, I don't have the image of this pyramid. This wasn't a pyramid. I think it was an octagon of basically things encompassed around mental toughness, and one of them was it was emotional control, right? And the truth, you need emotional control because you can't if you can't take control of your mind, right? Because the scriptures say, be angry and sin not. If you can't control those type of things, then the Lord won't be able to deal with you, because you're taking things into your hands. So let's go ahead and get that. We're going to go ahead and do it. Yep. My bad. Yep. Ephesians 4:26. Yeah, this is Ephesians 4, verse 26. It says, be ye angry, and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. And yeah, whenever you have like some type of thing that's bugging you, you need to take care of it. Because what? Like, you see, it's crazy, right? Because we kind of like, as we're in the truth, and sometimes we look at things of the world and don't apply it to the scriptures, or use it for the benefit of the scriptures, right? Because of mental toughness. Let me read it again. Yeah, it says let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Yeah, because if you let something dwell in there, a little leaveneth the whole lump. So it's gonna constantly, like, something bad happen, it's going to constantly grow. So that's why, like, whenever you have a problem with something, it needs to be taken care of right then and there, or else it will grow, and it will grow into something that's like not to what it really is. And it was something so small, but it grew into something so big because you let it sit there and marinate and fester. All right, so yeah, you need to take care of your emotions. All right, we'll have them, and it will happen. Like coming up to the end times, what you seeing people die in front of you, you're gonna feel some type of way. But it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to keep us going. All right, let me get one real quick. I'm gonna get Psalms. I was reading this earlier. Psalms 119. Just love seeing that number, right? Was it? I thought it was 10. Salakia. But it had mentioned the word basically guides his steps. Pull up Salakia. 05. Oh, okay, it says, yeah, because it got none. Yeah, this is Psalms 119, verse 105. None, it says, thy word is a lamp upon my feet and the light upon my path. Yeah, because it's all about the path of the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's will. And that's something that we try to stay closely by as much as possible, as closely as possible. That's why we reverse the righteous acts, because we want to be doing Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's will as close as possible. So I'll get another one on emotions. Matthew 10. We're going to get Matthew 10 and 16. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents, and harmless as doves. And that's the thing, man, is being harmless. Because sometimes, we'd be out there and teaching in the street, and, we want to, people, it gets tense out there. And, yeah, man, it says be harmless, man, because when you do beat somebody up or take things into your own hands, you're not showing the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You're showing your power. You putting your emotions before Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's crazy. It's just. I was just thinking about this video because it's like when you because like right when you think about spirituality, you think of like of course the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right, and peace. But it's basically spirituality is putting like looking at things from out of the box thing, right? So that's why the scriptures talk about the heart is deceitful above all things. What? Because the mind is weak. It's fleshly. These things, this body is always going to want to take the easiest way out, right? It's like like water or air. It's always going to try to find a way to balance things, like to try to find a crack or a crevice to get in and get into. The spirit runs. The spirit runs deep. You can see that how like this whole entire time as you're in the truth and you're learning those laws, statutes, and commandments, how much discipline and character you build in the truth, man. And every year by year, man, we're getting taller by spiritual. Our spiritual bank accounts are going up. Yeah. So I was just basic. So I wrote down that yeah, and if you don't keep, like, if you don't have that control, right, of your like your actions, this this is gonna happen to you. So this is, let me go ahead and get it. First Peter's. No, I'm sorry. Timothy's. What was it? First Timothy's 5:6. Yeah. Yeah. See, because like even though it says she that live, like, so this is First Timothy's 5:6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, right? So this is not just for she. It's for he too. Like it's for male. It's for males too. You know, because what if you can't live in a state of pleasure 24/7. It's impossible. You can't do that. So you need to control, like, what, the pleasure, the lust of things, and that's another form of spirituality. Like, fasting is not necessarily. It's like in a sense you call it like suffering, but it's a good suffer. Not all suffering is bad. Like, when you suffer pain because you hit your toe on a chair or on a table or something. You have to suffer that pain. But like fasting, that's like, that's building a spiritual toughness inside your mind to where you're going against what your eyes see. You know. Yeah, man, and that's a mental toughness, or what, or sometimes not even just a toughness, not even tough, just more so, like, how about this, imagination, being like how vivid the colors are in your mind, like how can you, like, if you close your eyes, what type of colors, that's not scriptural, but I'm saying, like, if you think about that and you apply it, you could use that as a tool, like your imagination, like the being able to close your eyes and imagine things, in your mind, right? But we're gonna get back, right? So then there was another column. It says life control, all right? So then I had wrote down here, it says life control. It says a process of keeping things the way we want it, right? And I wrote down the Most High's will, right? Yeah. So yeah, we want to keep the process. We want a process of keeping things the way we want it, and we want what the Lord wants. The Lord wants things to be in decency and order, and things. You want to do things as perfectly as you can. All right, and one of the life controls. You got to go to Israel 3 times a year, which is in Deuteronomy. And this is one of you got to be able to control your life, right? Because if you don't control it, then someone else is, and that's not good. It's Satan controlling you. That's why you gotta. It says that no man take thy crown. You gotta be able to learn how to fight spiritually. This is Deuteronomy 16:16. It says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy power in the place which he shall choose. In the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty, right? Because if you go before the Lord, you got to bring something, man. That's why it's evident, man. Men, we got to work. We got to work for everything, and even for the Lord, man. Because we're in debt to the Lord. These bodies that we're in right now are basically rentals, right? So that was one of the lifestyles. And let me get ahead. Go on to the. I had wrote down 3 lifestyle control things, and it was one of them was you got to go to Israel 3 times a year. There's things we can't eat, like pork, crab, lobster, uncooked meat. Steak tartare. This world. I don't know why they're so heavily into that steak with the uncooked meat in the middle. I don't know why. Like, you can cook steak to where it's still juicy and tender, but they don't need that red stuff in there. And they be like, come on, man, making it taste all good and stuff. Man, that's unlawful. That's unseemly. Eating uncooked meat. Even seen a video of an Edomite eating straight up raw meat. All right. It says, oh yeah, so it says to carry your body, and I had wrote down a few scriptures for mindset. So Romans 12. This is Romans 12. I'm going to start at 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And when you look up that word reasonable, no, Salakia. No, it was the word life. It was when you look up that word, after the word your body is a living sacrifice. That word living there is that's Salakia. I'm mixing it up now, Salakia. But the word reasonable, it was like when you look up that word means like living real life. Living a good life. Because this life that we live in debt. Our women are against us. Our children are against us. Our family members, it's messed up in here. We're not really living like in peace. Unless and only when we're meditating upon the Lord. Doing things of the Heavenly Father. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High, right? So these are the things that you must renew your mind day by day in this truth, having that life control of what you doing the things of the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right? And I had another one, 2 Timothy 1:7. 2 Timothy 1:7. Oh yeah. This is perfect. This is 2 Timothy 1:6. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of the Most High, which is in thee by the putting on of thy hands. For the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And that's what it's about, is having a sound mind, a sturdy mind. You got to have a mental toughness to have a sound mind. You need to be groomed, and the Spirit of the Lord has to be dealing with you not to bug out in these last days, man. He's going to have to be with us. There's no way we're going to be able to get locked up and be sitting in prison and not be able to not bug out. I know there's other men that have done it before, but it's just going to be crazy, man. It's going to be a wild, a state of change coming towards the end of the of this of this life. The end of the world is here. And we're gonna experience some wild things, and it's gonna be tough. The Lord's gonna have to deal with you in order for you to surpass these days. All right. This is the last one. This is Proverbs 4. I'm gonna go ahead and get 20. Oh, this is Proverbs 4:20. My son, attend to my words, incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thy eyes. Keep them in the midst of thy heart, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Yeah, the health to all their flesh, right? Because this is what's gonna be able to heal us or get us through that Jacob's trouble in these last days, is these words, man. So that's why I had to get that. I'm gonna get it again before I close it out. That's Psalms 119. 05. Psalms 119 and 105, it reads, thy word is a lamp upon my feet, and thy light upon my path, right? And a light upon my path. that's what we need, man, because we're in the low land, this valley. We're living in Babylon. Babylon the Great. But God has covered her cast over all people, you know. So with that, I hope you was edified or motivated to keep the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Maybe do a video or something like that. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the ones out there with the sincere faithful Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom.